Lost all credibility. Suhel Seth slams BBC over fake news on air. India crash report. Businessman and commentator Suhel Seth on Saturday strongly criticised the BBC for what he called state-funded fake news concerning the preliminary Air India crash report. In a video statement shared on the social media platform X, Seth, who is the founder and managing partner of the consultancy firm Counselage India, suggested that the BBC should be rechristened as the British Bullshitting Corporation. It is absolutely abhorrent for the BBC, which should now rechristen itself as the British Bullshitting Corporation, to cast dispersions on Indian pilots without actually going through the report, he stated. The rogues BBC World Pic. Twitter.com Ovihud Tyeft Suhel Seth Suhel's July 12, 2025 He accused the BBC of using typical ploys by Western organizations to slander overseas companies and professionals. This is not the India of yore, he added, stressing that India isn't part of your goddamn colony and never will be. Seth told the BBC to remember that, as a publicly funded broadcaster, it must not spread what he termed state fake news. It is tragic that the BBC has now lost all credibility. Glastonbury was about anti-Semitism and today it is about anti-fairness. These rogues need to be taught a lesson, he concluded. The BBC's article, published after the preliminary findings were released, suggested that the pilots cut off fuel to the engines and noted that no fault in plane was found. What the AAIB report reveals. India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau AAIB released its preliminary findings on Saturday following the crash of Air India flight AI-171 on June 12. According to the report, the London-bound Boeing 787 Dreamliner lost thrust seconds after taking off from Ahmedabad Airport. Fuel supply to both engines was cut off within 1 second, causing the aircraft to lose altitude and crash within half a minute. The 15PAG report confirmed that the fuel control switches for both engines moved from run to cut off almost simultaneously. This sequence was captured on the flight data and cockpit voice recorders. One pilot is heard asking the other, "Why did you cut off the fuel?" to which the co-pilot, who was flying the plane, reportedly responded, "I didn't." Shortly after, a backup power source known as the ram air turbine route was deployed, indicating total engine failure. Though the pilots managed to relight both engines, only one regained enough power. A distress call was sent out, but the aircraft crashed into a nearby college hostel just outside the airport, killing nearly everyone on board and several on the ground. The fuel switches were found in the run position at the crash site, and there was no mechanical fault reported in the engines or the aircraft. The AAIB did not determine why the switches were moved or who was responsible. It also made no safety recommendations for Boeing 787 operators at this stage. Swipe left for next video. The incident is being further investigated, with assistance from US and UK aviation safety bodies. With inputs from agencies' latest blogs.